Hey everyone, welcome back. This is going to be a little departure from what I've done recently. I'm just going to have some fun with something. It came to me the last few weeks. A while ago I did a vlog on a hero. I had to present a Hero of the Year award for the Comox Valley, and I had to do a speech, and so I gave you, I just put some thoughts out there of what transpired. If you want to go back and check that out, please do so. Anyway, if for those of you that saw it, I cited kind of three childhood heroes, if you will, and three people that I kind of grew up with as a child, and that was Roger Staubach and Jimmy Connors. They were posters on my wall, and Captain James T. Kirk from Star Trek. Yeah. So, you know, years later, my time in LA back for a couple of years back in 2005 and 6. I opened a restaurant called Bridge there. It was an offshoot of Koi Restaurant, which is quite popular and well known. I met this woman. She was in town, and she had a group celebrating something. I don't even know. It was like 10 women, and I was the bar manager running this big lounge and bar. And anyway, long story short, she was from Dallas, Texas, and I brought some champagne over and did something. And, you know, just as Bill Belichick said a couple years ago, just do your job. And so that's what my job is, to, you know, give good guest experience. So I brought over some stuff. Long story short, I just said, hey, you know, I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan, always been, since I was a kid, and I grew up with Roger Staubach on my wall, blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? Oh, I know Roger Staubach, she says. I'm like, oh, okay. So I didn't think anything of it. And when they left at night, she came up to me and said, no, seriously, I do know Roger. He's a friend of my dad. And give me your address. So I wrote down my address. And my wife and I were living in Burbank at the time, and didn't think anything of it. And then literally, I don't even know if it was 2 months later or something, I got a package in the mail, and I got a Dallas Cowboy football signed by the man himself, Roger Staubach, along with one of these guys from back in the day. So totally, just totally blew my mind, and you know, it was one of those kind of neat and fun things, and just gratitude to this woman. I don't even know her name, couldn't even tell you who she was if she was standing right in front of me. But it's funny how things work out. And part two of this is everyone that I grew up with knows how much of a fanboy I am of the original Star Trek series. And there's a certain kind of legend around North Kingstown back in the day that, yes, I knew every name of the 78 episodes verbatim, and I've never once been stumped on a quiz of, oh, what was that episode about this, this, and this, and bam, I'd give you the name. So there is some truth to that. And anyway, so growing up with this guy, and this is my original from back, probably I got it early 70s. I think they came out in 73. Anyway, we were living in LA, and my wife was a nanny at the time, and she had done some celebrity nannings, and she was at this point working for a big wig at the special visual effects for Warner Brothers, I think. Anyway, so I used to go and drive her to the house, drop her off. She watched the kids. And this is our first year in LA, and so we were living in right off of Hollywood Boulevard. And I got a call from her saying, okay, it's time to pick me up, but I'm going to be a little bit late. The family that she's watching were having dinner. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fine. So I killed some time. She phones me back, and apparently they're at this little French bistro over in Burbank, and William Shatner was in there having dinner. I said, really? I said, okay, well, I'm going to go pick you up. So I beelined it over the hill and picked her up, and I said, look, we got to go for dinner. This is it. Got to do it. Small little bistro. So I freaking picked her up. We drove over there. We went in. It was packed. Little small place, but it was packed. So the only thing we had was at the bar. So we sat down at the bar, and I looked over, and there he was in the corner. It was like freaking Moses parting the Red Sea as the waiters and whatever went by, and there he was. The legend himself, my idol, William Shatner. The Shat was there. So, what to do now? Well, he's with another guy. They look like they were in depth discussion. So we ordered dinner. So I'm kind of sitting sideways so I could always kind of look back, and probably the longest dinner we ever had. I do remember that I had a beef dip and the french fries were killer. Anyway, we sat there talking to my wife, Jen, what do I do? She thinks I'm totally nuts at this point, which in retrospect I probably am. But she's saying, I don't know, buy him a drink. I'm like, I can't just buy him a drink. It's not like he's a chick. It's freaking the Shat. I don't know. So we're going to buy him a bottle of wine. We're going to buy him a bottle of wine, finishes his bottle of wine. As soon as I go to kind of get the bartender's attention, another bottle of wine goes over to the table. So I'm like, oh, great. Well, now I only have 2 bottles of wine, so he ain't going to have any more. Anyway, we had the longest dinner because we were just lounging around, and I think the bartender asked us if we wanted to check probably 5 or 6 times. No, we're good. We're just talking business. And so a lot of people have left at this point. So finally, I feel like finally, Spock. Finally, he gets up and leaves with this guy. So I'm like, Jen, this is it. I'm making a beeline, and I'm heading out to see my hero. She's like, go for it. So out into the parking lot I go. I see him. He's talking to his buddy over by a couple cars and by this silver Porsche. So my heart is just racing, and I'm like, Mr. Shatner, excuse me. And his buddy kind of turns, kind of make sure I wasn't kind of some freakoid. Not that he could have done anything anyway, but I didn't know what to say. And so I believe I said, I just wanted to say thank you. And it's an honor to finally meet you. Here it is. 30 some years in the making, all my heart and soul into this handshake. The Shat turns around slowly, because he's getting in his car at this point. Turn around slowly, looks me dead in the eye, and he's got these red, just pickled eyes. He looks at me. Yeah, puts his hand out. Yeah, right. And just turns back and gets into his car and freaking peels out of the parking lot, and he's gone like a flash. It was like, that's it. He's gone. And my heart was crushed. Well, not really, but I just couldn't believe it. A, I couldn't believe I met him, but B, I couldn't believe he dissed me. The Shat dissed me. Not that I was anybody, but I mean, come on, buddy. Just throw me a bone here. I'm the only guy in the parking lot. It's not like, I'm at a fan convention or something where there's millions of people. Anyway, I got dissed by the Shat, but I met him. I finally met him. And I always have fun telling that story. Is there a moral in the story? I don't know. We always put kind of our faith into heroes, and some of those heroes, aren't real people. They could be fictional characters as well. But you know what? It is what it is. I know some people get crushed, and some people have bad experiences with meeting celebrities or other people that they hold up on a pedestal. Not for me. It's still, he's still the man. And hey, for anyone out there, maybe you'll get to meet one of your heroes someday and have some fun with it. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you got a kick out of the story. I'll be back soon.